how are you? Today I brought a wonderful recipe, probiotic, great for your gut health, helps reduce intestinal inflammation, and improves bowel movements. Probiotics bring many benefits for immunity, for the gut, and even for our brain. And this recipe here, you definitely have the ingredients at home. It's very easy, affordable, and on top of all that, it's vegan. You're going to love it. Stay until the end because you won't want to miss it. If you love easy, quick, and healthy recipes, you're going to love this channel, so make sure to subscribe. Remember to turn on the notification bell to get updates. I post new videos every day. You'll love them. If you like this kind of recipe, go ahead and like the video now because that really helps me out. And remember, down below in the description, I'll leave, as always, the ingredients and the nutritional information for each serving of the recipe. So remember, as I mentioned, I'm going to prepare a probiotic recipe here. I already have a playlist on the channel with probiotic recipes and probiotic tips for you to put into practice. And it's very important for us to consume some type of probiotic on a regular basis in our daily lives. And adding these probiotic foods is much better than spending a lot of money on probiotics at the pharmacy. We can make probiotics at home at a very low cost. And this will greatly help the health of your gut. By improving gut health, it will help you go to the bathroom more easily and prevent constipation. And of course, this will help fight intestinal dysbiosis. Remember, I have a video here on the channel discussing dysbiosis, how to improve your diet and address this issue. When our gut is colonized by beneficial bacteria, it reduces intestinal inflammation, improving whole body inflammation and enhancing neurotransmitter production. The neurotransmitters in your brain are actually produced in the gut and are carried through the bloodstream to the brain. So this improves your mood, your sense of well-being, and can help people who live with anxiety as a complementary approach. I also have a video here on the channel explaining why the gut is our second brain. I'll leave all the links down below in the description. So, I've already told you about the importance of probiotics. This probiotic here is made with foods that are very easy to have at home. Its base is apple. We're going to make a fermented apple here. And to ferment the apple, here's what we're going to do. I have a jar here that I've already cleaned and sanitized thoroughly. Ideally, you should wash it with soap and water, rinse it very well, boil it, and let it dry. Don't use a cloth or put anything inside. I just sliced the apple into thin pieces. I don't remove the peel. I only took out the fibrous core and the seeds. So we can put the apple in here. I'm not going to spend all this time putting the apple in because that's all there is for now. But remember to keep the peel because the peel is very rich in pectin. So, in addition to the probiotic effect of this apple, which will ferment later, you'll also get the benefits of the apple's fiber, which helps improve cholesterol and increases the feeling of fullness. I'll finish adding the apple here and I'll be right back. Just wait a moment. Don't fill the jar all the way to the top with apples because you need to cover the apples with the mixture I'm about to make here. We take very clean filtered water and there's an ideal ratio. For 4 cups of water, we add 1 teaspoon of salt and mix it well until it's completely dissolved. It might seem strange to add salt water to the apples, but the salt will help inhibit the growth of some harmful bacteria on the apples and allow the good bacteria to thrive. So we need to cover them here. If you use a different amount of apples, make this mixture following the same ratio. I might not even need to use all of this here, but that's the proportion to get it right. I've already covered all the apples, and now I'm going to do the following. I'm going to push down this apple at the top and even remove a bit of the excess water. Now I'm going to put a piece of paper and a lid on here. I grabbed a saucer just to show you that ideally we shouldn't close the jar completely. I'll explain it better to you. Even though this jar of mine has a screw-on lid, if you screw the lid on, since there will be fermentation and carbon dioxide will form, it could explode, break the jar, ruin your cupboard. It's actually dangerous. So, if you want to use the lid, just rest it on top or use a saucer as a lid. Then you'll put this away in a cupboard for 3 to 7 days. It will depend on the temperature where you live, the humidity, and other environmental factors. But after about 3 days, you'll start to see some bubbles forming. If after 3 days there still aren't any bubbles, just wait a little longer. The color of the apple will change. In a few days, I'll come back to show you. The texture will also change and you'll see the formation of these carbon dioxide bubbles, which indicate that fermentation has occurred. For now, there's nothing else to do. I'll set this apple aside to ferment, and in a few days, I'll come back to tell you how much time has passed and show you what it looks like. Three days have passed. I took our apple, and you can see that it's fermented. Look at how many bubbles it produced. The more we stir it, it even looks like apple soda because of all the bubbles, which means it fermented really well. And now I'm going to put it on a plate so you can see what the texture is like. I'm going to use a fork. I think it'll be easier to pick up the apple that way. You can just eat the apple, or you can also use the liquid. It's up to you, whichever you prefer. I'm going to take one from underneath so we can see better how it is. Really soft. See how the texture changes? It almost looks like it's cooked. It's really soft. Let me show you up close here. See how soft it gets? It looks like the apple was cooked, but it wasn't. Now I'll tell you more about how to eat it and everything else. I'll grab another one here so you can see. Remember that with our fermented foods, after they ferment, we need to close the jar and store it in the fridge so we can eat it throughout the week. The portion you should eat really depends on your needs. Since these slices are quite thin, I think about 3 or 4 slices a day are enough to serve the purpose. And you can mix them with whatever you like. Usually this idea of vegan fermented foods is for people who are vegan. So obviously you could mix it with yogurt, but if you don't consume dairy, you can add it to your oatmeal, a fruit salad, a smoothie you make, or just eat it plain. You don't necessarily have to mix it with anything. Tell me what time you're going to eat it, what you're going to mix it with. I'd love to see your comment. Remember to check out my probiotics playlist. There are other really cool ideas and informative videos talking more about the benefits of probiotics. I'll leave it down below in the description. If you like this kind of video, give it a like because that also helps me out. It shows YouTube that you enjoyed it, and then it recommends this video to more people who need it. And remember to share it too with anyone you know who will like it, with those who need it. Let's work together to grow this chain of good because that's what I want here with the channel. Now I'm going to try a piece of our apple here. It really smells like apple. There's a slight scent of baker's yeast. The apple is sweet, it doesn't turn salty, it's just slightly salty. I wouldn't even say it tastes like a preserve because it's not quite like that. But the apple naturally has its own sugars, so it balances out. It's more sweet than salty, it ends up being sweet and sour. And it ends up with a flavor like baker's yeast, that yeast we use in fresh bread because it has fermented. So give it a try, you're going to love it. See you next time. Bye.